ABCGH spoilers. Liz reports to the police that Wiley's mother is a stalker. Port Charles in shock. Port Charles was having one of those rare late summer afternoons where the air felt still, as if holding its breath. The harbor waters shimmered, the hum of traffic on Charles Street was low, and for a moment, it almost felt like the whole city had taken a collective pause. At General Hospital, Elizabeth Weber was wrapping up a long shift. The nurses' station buzzed softly with activity. Clipboard exchanges, calls to specialists, a few tense whispers about a patient's latest blood work, but for Liz, it was just another day in a career that had seen almost every shade of human emotion. She'd had her share of heartbreak, mystery, and tragedy, but today she felt unsettled. Something had been gnawing at her for weeks, something she'd been trying to rationalize away. But every time she saw Wiley Corinthos, the little boy she adored, she couldn't shake the feeling that the woman who had been hanging around him was more than just an interested stranger. And that woman was his biological mother. Liz had first noticed it 3 weeks ago at the park. She'd been meeting Willow Corinthos and Wiley for an afternoon picnic. The boy was running around happily with his juice box when a woman across the lawn caught Liz's attention. She wore sunglasses, her posture was stiff, and she was too far to be a casual passerby, yet too focused to be someone simply enjoying the day. Her eyes didn't leave Wiley. When Liz mentioned it to Willow later, Willow brushed it off. "She's probably just someone who thinks Wiley is cute," Willow said, her voice a little too quick, a little too defensive. But Liz didn't miss the way Willow's hand tightened around her coffee cup. Over the next several days, Liz saw the woman again. At the corner bakery. Outside the hospital's pediatric wing. Near the Corinthos coffee warehouse, when Liz was picking up something for Carly. Always at a distance. Always watching. It wasn't until Liz overheard a conversation between Nina Reeves and Ava Jerome at the Metro Court that the pieces started falling into place. Nina. If she thinks she can get anywhere near Wiley without my knowing, she's in for a shock. Ava. Nina, you can't keep this up forever. If the court finds out. Nina. The court won't. Unless someone says something. Liz froze. She? Court? Wiley? The implication hit her like a jolt. This wasn't just any woman. This was Wiley's biological mother, and she was lingering in the shadows of Port Charles. Liz had seen too much in her life to ignore a threat to a child. Memories of Jake's kidnapping, of the trauma Cameron had endured, and of Aiden's fragile early years all came flooding back. She wouldn't stand by. That night, she went home, paced her living room, and stared at the phone. She knew what reporting something like this would mean. The police would ask questions. People would accuse her of overreacting. And in Port Charles, where almost everyone has a history, no accusation comes without blowback. Still, she dialed. Detective Harrison Chase answered, his voice tired but warm. Liz. Chase, it's Elizabeth. I think we have a stalking situation involving Wiley Corinthos. And I think the stalker is his biological mother. Chase didn't waste time. Within hours, he had security footage from the hospital and the park, confirming Liz's sightings. The woman, her face partially obscured in most images, was indeed the same person. Her name? Nellie Benson. The revelation left Liz stunned. Nellie was supposed to be dead. The official story was that she'd fallen from a cliff during a confrontation with Carly and Jax years ago. But if she was alive and skulking around Port Charles, then the danger to Wiley and everyone connected to him was very real. When Chase broke the news to Willow, she nearly collapsed. She'd built a life believing that Nellie was gone, that her son was safe from the chaos his biological mother had always brought. But Liz's report had cracked that safety in two. Willow. Why now? Why come back now? And why not go through the courts if she really wanted to see him? Liz. Because she's not here for visitation, Willow. She's watching him. Planning something. Michael Corinthos was livid. The moment he heard from Chase, he called Sonny. Sonny's expression darkened, his version of a thunderstorm. Sonny. If Nellie is alive, we'll find her. And she won't get within a mile of Wiley. But Carly, standing just behind Sonny, had a more complicated look. Her history with Nellie was tangled in lies, revenge, and near-death encounters. Part of her was furious. Part of her was unnerved. If Nellie had survived once, what else could she survive? The whispers in Port Charles grew louder. People claimed they'd seen a blonde woman in the shadows near Rice Park. Someone swore they'd spotted her at the docks. And then, one night, Liz saw her again, this time without sunglasses. The smirk was unmistakable. The tilt of the head, the deliberate slowness in her movements. It was Nellie. And she wanted Liz to see her. Chase and Dante Falconeri organized a quiet search. When they finally cornered Nellie in an abandoned boathouse, she didn't run. She smiled. "Nellie, Elizabeth, so good to see you again. Still playing the hero nurse, I see." Her tone dripped with venom. She claimed she wasn't stalking, just checking on her son from a distance. But her phone, seized by the police, told a darker story. Dozens of photos of Wiley, notes on his daily routines, even a list of places he visited most often. The discovery ignited a legal firestorm. Michael and Willow filed for an emergency protection order. Nina, despite her own strained history with Nellie, shockingly stepped forward to say she believed Nellie deserved a second chance, fueling speculation about where her loyalties truly lay. Carly confronted Nina in the Metro court lobby in a scene that drew stares from every patron. "Carly, if you think siding with Nellie will get you closer to Wiley, think again." "Nina, and if you think keeping a boy from his mother will end well, you've learned nothing." Not everyone saw Liz's actions as heroic. Nellie's supporters, few but vocal, accused her of exaggerating and meddling in a family matter. Some even claimed she'd fabricated sightings to stir up trouble. But Liz stood her ground. "Liz, I've been a mother long enough to know when a child is in danger. And I will never apologize for protecting Wiley." Behind bars awaiting a preliminary hearing, Nellie met with her lawyer, a slick newcomer named Marcus Hale. "Nellie, they think I'm the villain."
"Fine.
"But when the truth comes out, they'll see I'm the only one who really loves him." What truth she meant was unclear, but in Port Charles, cryptic promises usually precede chaos. As the town reeled from the drama, Chase received a tip that sent a chill down his spine. Nellie hadn't been acting alone. Someone else had been helping her track Wiley, providing money, resources, and access to places she shouldn't have been able to reach. The lead pointed to a name no one expected and one that would fracture an already divided Port Charles.